It's a training day and we're going to be hitting chest and triceps. Over the next couple of weeks, I want to address a lot of myths and misconceptions that I commonly hear. And the first one that I want to address is spot reduction or fat reduction. This is both a myth and there is a little bit of truth in it, I believe. For instance, you'll see someone doing abs every single day, doing hundreds of them, thinking that they're going to burn the fat here and show off their abdominal muscles. This isn't the case. Doesn't matter how many ab exercises that you do, you're not going to see it unless you remove that layer of fat through your nutrition, your cardio and your weight training. Everything works synergistically. I do think this does ring true for your legs and thighs and your glutes. For instance, if I have a client that has a lot of fat on their hips, thighs, glutes, then generally I'll get that person doing lunges for their cardio or on a Stairmaster, really squeezing the hips, the thighs, the hamstrings, the glutes, just to really promote blood flow in this area. And maybe I'll get them to hit legs, really, really intense with high reps, low reps, and generally with the DTP system, just to really increase the blood flow to this area. Chances are, if you've got a lot of fat or cellulite in a certain area, the blood flow is very little to these areas as well. So the more that you increase this blood flow, promote muscle to this area, which will actually help shuttle the fat cells from this area, through that increased blood flow. So it's both a myth and, to a certain degree it does hold true as well, in my opinion. Anyway, we're at the gym, so let's head on downstairs and hit chest and triceps. I don't believe it, but I feel like I might be getting sick again. I think I've only got sick once in a diet. If I get sick now, this will be my third time in this diet, which is it's just freaky. I can't put it down to anything else other than there's bugs going around, my immune system's down. I really don't know. I don't know what it is, but hopefully it's not going to eventuate much. We'll be doing 2 sets of 10 to 12 reps with incline flies. I'm doing 2 light warm-up sets using a stretching technique I mentioned earlier. Like always, make sure that you get your chest stretched out really well before you transfer to a heavier weight to prevent any injuries. Now onto our working sets. I've increased the weight quite a bit, but I'm still using the same technique by bringing my elbows in. This is going to make the weight feel a lot heavier with added difficulty to the movement. And on this movement I'll be doing around 10 repetitions each set. That's what I'm going for, but it might, come down to around 8 as well. That's okay as long as you reach failure. Our second lift is going to be the flat machine. 2 sets of around 12 to 15 repetitions. I'm training in a different gym today and they have one of these machines accessible to me. I quite like it as well because the handles do move inwards at the end of the movement, so I'm able to focus on the inner portion of the chest. For our third exercise, we'll be doing an unorthodox lift, which you may have never seen in a gym before. So the reason why I like to do this is that I find it's a great exercise to finish off with, to work the entire portion of the pec. So as you're going down, you're working like the middle portion of your chest. As you're pushing up like that, you're working the lower portion of your chest. As you're returning, you're hitting the middle part. And then when you're actually fully stretched out and your arms are locked, that's working the upper portion of your pecs. So from there, you come down, and then you're here, you're working every portion of your pecs from the top to the bottom. I think it's a great exercise to flush blood into the muscle help get that pump, stretch your fascia, and give the fullness and the separation to the area. So that's it for chest. 3 exercises done, easy. Next we're going to move on to triceps now the elbows are nice and warm. This is a tricep exercise that often gets overlooked, but it's a great movement as well. You're able to lock out your triceps at the bottom, really squeeze out every little portion, so you're getting a bit of an isometric hold in this as well to help get that defined look to the triceps, you know, that horseshoe sort of shape. So make sure that you use a seat belt on this machine. Depending on the weight, as you push down, your body may have a tendency to ride up. Our 5th exercise today is going to be overhead rope extensions. 3 sets of 12 to 15 reps. There are several positions and stance variations with the overhead tricep extension. Normally I bend at the waist and extend my arms outwards above my head. However, this is another stance I like to use occasionally. I find that standing straight up works the inner head of the tricep very effectively. Because you'll have less leverage from the position, you'll find that you'll have to lower the weight slightly. The last lift of the day is cable pushdowns. Now this works the outer head of the tricep. We'll be doing 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps just to finish off. I like to have my hands in close on this exercise because I feel that it really targets all heads of the tricep muscle as opposed to when it's out. Sometimes I do feel it a little bit in my chest and shoulders. So having it really close really does seem to isolate the tricep muscle. Now I'm going to have my protein shake and then I'm going to go home and go for a walk outside, get some fresh air for my cardio as opposed to being stuffy and feeling sick indoors. So it's still light outside, so I'm going to take advantage of that. Hopefully I do recover because legs is going to be a hard one tomorrow, I know. Come back tomorrow and see a couple new variations for my leg workout.